All right, so in this video, I'm going to give you 3 catalysts on what could propel this metal to finally start pumping again. And they're not all doomsday scenarios, so stay with me. Try to stay positive. I know it's the doomsday metal. It's all negative, negative, negative. Try to stay positive, but it does move on negativity. So let's go ahead and let's unpack. And I'll start with number 1, but I'll also at the end of the video, I'll give you a bonus. How about that? All right. So number 1, we'll start with the obvious. The obvious is the upcoming possible interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve. That's the one that everybody knows about. That's the one that everybody's talking about. And that's the one that will possibly have the biggest impact on your precious metals, along with other assets. The other assets that I'm talking about, cryptocurrency, obviously the stock market, they both do extremely well once the Fed starts to cut interest rates. Now, we can also go and pull up the CME watch tool, and I will put that probability up right now on where that is standing as far as interest rate cuts for September and beyond. But that is one of the main factors that a lot of people are focusing on. Some people are saying that the price is already juiced in, as some would say, and can't really rule that out as well. Interest rate cuts, that is number 1. So number 2, I know you guys are well aware of the current situation that is happening with politics. I'm not a big fan of politics, but we have to talk about money, and we have to talk about everything that has to do with the movement of our money. Now, whether you're voting for this person or that person really does not matter to me personally. Just as long as you vote, you have a reason. All right. At least you have a stance on something. The politics of it, as far as if Trump wins. Okay. Now, if Trump wins, I don't know if you guys remember what happened in 2016, the Trump bump. It's a real thing. The stock market, it absolutely took off, and it was just unreal. It was, pretty much the same thing that's kind of happening right now. The economy was starting to stall just a little bit. The Fed ended up cutting interest rates starting in September of, I think, 2019. And that really, really jumped everything up. I mean, it was nuts. It was crazy. So, as far as Trump, winning and the possibility for precious metals, you got a bump, but you didn't get a huge bump. And some may be even saying that the result of that is what we have now, is that the metals are finally reacting to the cooling off and the expected, recession incoming. So that's something to look out for. As far as voting for the other person, I think it's going to be about more of the same. I mean, we have seen the precious metals pumping this year in times when they don't normally pump, right? The summer months, the summer doldrums, the saying, sell in May and go away, didn't really happen this year as far as the stock market and or precious metals. They really just went the opposite way, right? They kind of didn't really do you no favors if you were shorting the market. But right now, everything's holding steady. Gold's come back all the way. Silver's still a little underwater, but it's nothing major. So let's move on to number 3. Number 3, I know a lot of you guys are paying attention to this as well, but conflict always does the metals good. It really does. And it's not in a good way, but we are seeing tensions escalate across the Middle East region as far as Israel, Iran, the whole 9 yards. Everybody is just throwing pins and needles over there. That whole region is set to explode. Iran's threatening to cut off the Strait of Hormuz again, and really that's a big driver for here in the States as far as oil consumption. I know we should be, making our own. We do, but we don't make enough. I really wish we could focus on, taking care of ourselves versus buying up others, but that's beyond. Okay, so that is something that is a big catalyst for the precious metals. We've seen what happened when Russia attacked Ukraine. The spike in gold was just crazy nuts, right? The price exploded. And then whenever the same thing happened to Israel, same thing, the price just exploded again. So conflict, whether you like it or for it, against it, doesn't really matter in my eyes. It just does well for the precious metals, and buying the dips whenever tensions are at a record high like they are right now, it's not really a bad thing, whether you're buying a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, either way, as long as you're putting something back for yourself. Now, the one that I was talking about towards the beginning, the bonus. Okay, so I had touched on it just a little bit. Now, back in 2023, whenever crypto just looked like it was just left for dead, underground, just nowhere to go, right? Looked like it was finally going to zero again. It just, I felt the need to buy, and I did, and I put a bunch of money into Solana. Bunch of it. I want to say I bought anywhere between the 14 all the way up to $20 each. And I mean, I piled in thousands upon thousands in there. So now that it has been over a year since I made those purchases, I haven't been buying anymore lately until the last week, whenever it dropped 20%. That's an instant trigger for me to go ahead and put more in there. Now, in April of this year, I took my initial investment out. Okay. That means it's zero risks to me whatsoever. So I am completely just going to ride the wave. Now, I did buy some more last week, like I said. For me personally, I am no expert. Okay. Do not go by what I'm saying, but this is what I feel. And I will take profit all the way up. Okay. This is not me saying to wait to this specific time frame to pull your money or to invest your money. Okay. This is just what my little plan is for my little stupid self and my little small brain is doing. Okay. But my price target for Solana, at peak bull run next year is going to be somewhere between $500 and $600 each. That's what I'm targeting. And I will be pulling money back as it goes up, as the rocket ship starts to go, because that when everybody else is piling in, you want to be piling out, right? You want to be there for the run, but you don't want to have everything in there when the run is over. Okay. You don't want to ride that bottom. Okay. So I will be pulling away as it's going up. All right. And I'll do it in increments. I'm not going to do it all at one time. So that is my bonus, because interest rates cuts, they always, every single time that, crypto does well. Number one, election year. Number two, interest rate cuts. And guess what? Both of those things are happening this year. Okay. Keep that in mind. This year. Those are two major catalysts for crypto. So will it have pullbacks between now and the end of the year? Oh yeah. But I'm looking for around November, December for that thing to just pump up. And I'm kind of excited for it. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. Appreciate the video. Don't forget, guys, there is a couple of buttons down there for you to hit, the like and the subscribe, and I would appreciate it. And as always, guys, remember, keep grinding on your stack.